Let's talk specifically about what rejection and abandonment looks like, because rejection and abandonment, I think about those like categories of experiences, but then there are all of these ways that we reject and can be rejected, that we abandon and can be abandoned. First, we'll highlight rejection and abandonment between parent and child, and then we'll talk about what that looks like between adults. These are some ways that this shows up between parent and child. Not showing up, being unavailable physically and or emotionally. Oftentimes that's due to things like emotional maturity. It can be a mood disorder that prevents someone from showing up, something like depression, incarceration, substance abuse, having children out of wedlock. Like there's a whole lot right there. When there isn't equal opportunity, I think that's a really triggering thing. But when there isn't equal opportunity for that child to experience the full presence of one or both parents, that can lead to a rejection and abandonment wounds. Not being at your games or school performances. They don't show up to the parent-teacher meetings, not picking you up from school, not knowing if someone's going to show up when they said that they would. It might look like explicitly minimizing your thoughts or feelings. That sounds like children should be seen and not heard. Might have sounded like, I'll give you something to cry about. Big girls or big boys don't cry. And not just verbally saying it, but having the emotional experience of not mattering. Those kinds of experiences can lead to internalized rejection, AKA I am rejectable. Other ways that we wound: criticizing appearance, prioritizing work over family, verbal put downs, broken promises. Now let's move on to ways that rejection and abandonment can happen between adults. That can look like not showing up or acknowledging important events like birthday, anniversary, promotions, broken promises. Prioritizing other things over the relationship. That can then make someone feel emotionally insecure, even if I have all of the things that I need to live. And so the same things that trigger children are the same things that trigger adults in so many ways. Let's keep moving. Someone's unresponsive or stonewalling, ignoring calls, texts, blocking, especially in conflict, or to punish the other person, or even to try to save yourself, or to try to reduce your own anxiety, but that other person ends up being locked out. It can also look like bulldozing, where there's not a whole lot of concern in the moment about the other person's thoughts or feelings. You're just trying to get them to get what you feel. You want them to get your experience. Being hot and cold with me. Okay, you're inconsistent. And so it feels like you don't really want me, or I'm not acceptable to you at all times. We've all had attachment wounds to some degree at some point in our lives. The ones that stick, the ones that really impact us, are the ones that come from significant figures, parents especially, and when those wounds were not attended to with the quality of care that is congruent with the pain, the emotional distress that it caused. This is the Band-Aid on a bullet wound idea, that you can't cover up something big and deep with something small. Although many try, sometimes that's all they have, and sometimes we don't even know how important or how significant the wound is, so we really haven't communicated that to the other person anyway. Regardless of why the wound was not cared for or attended to, the point is I make that mean something about me, and those wounds have yet to be resolved. Those are the types of wounds that stick.